There's a man from County Kerry a few years ago that he was forever on the radio, and he was a philosopher, and he was a poet, and he was an author, and he was a very, very well educated, very intelligent man. His name was Dr. John O'Donoghue, and he drafted his own will. And in December of 2011, the will was examined in the High Court, because essentially there was a difficulty with it. Dr. O'Donoghue had made the will himself without the benefit of legal advice, and essentially it was unclear from the will who was to benefit or what his intentions were, and there was also a couple of other mistakes. For example, beneficiaries were actually witnesses. The bottom line is that the will ended up being examined in the High Court in December of 2011. The judge, Justice Gilligan, declared the will void for uncertainty. In other words, the will was simply void because it was unclear who was to benefit, and the whole estate, which was worth €2 million, went to Dr. O'Donoghue's mother. And in the judgment, Justice Gilligan said the testator has unfortunately provided an illustration of exactly how a person should not make a will. And while there can be little doubt but that the testator was a man of considerable learning, the fact that he did not benefit from legal advice or assistance is evident from the will that he drew up. Not only was it deficient in terms of the lack of certainty as to his intention, but moreover he unwittingly made the classic error of having two of the intended beneficiaries act as witnesses to his signature, thereby depriving both as a matter of law from benefiting under the terms of the will. So courts can decide the intentions of the testator where there is doubt as to interpreting from the will. However, in this particular case, the court was simply unable to figure out the intentions of Dr. O'Donoghue, even though the will was actually valid insofar as the requirements of the Succession Act of 1965 were met. So it may be the case that it appears simple and straightforward. You can go into a bookshop, or you can go into Easton's, or you can download perhaps a template or a form off the internet and make your own will. But you need to be careful that you don't fall foul of the mistakes that Dr. O'Donoghue made, who was indeed a very learned man, and when he passed away he was pretty mature in years, so you can imagine that his mother was fairly mature as well, and she ended up then getting the entire estate because the will basically failed for uncertainty, and the entire estate of Dr. O'Donoghue then went to his mother on intestacy, 2 million, and that certainly was not the intention of Dr. O'Donoghue. Clearly he intended benefiting his family and his partner or his wife, or I can't remember his exact personal circumstances. But the bottom line is, for the sake of £100 or €150 or whatever it is, you'd imagine that it would be self-evident and fairly obvious that getting a solicitor to do your will is smart enough sort of a decision. Hope you find this useful. My name is Terry Gorry. I'm a solicitor. You might give it the thumbs up down below if you think it's useful, and subscribe to my YouTube channel.